All right, so I got a little idea. So we don't go on the video there. I just got it pointing up there, but we got an idea. So we if we think about the Bible, right, and how what we're told is Satan tried to overthrow, or Lucifer tried to overthrow God in heaven, and pretty much that God didn't know it was going to happen. It was a surprise. And God kicked Lucifer down to earth and all this and that, right? Casted him out of heaven. And he's down here wreaking havoc, trying to do harm to all of us. Then we go, we hear about the battles between the two. Evidently, they fought in heaven. They fought on earth. You know, we get to a point in the Bible where it talks about Job, the book of Job,
Yeah.
and how the devil and God had a wager over Job's life.
I think it was a wager, but
Well, it was a wager. Here, take my best servant. God's pretty much saying, I bet you can't turn him.
yeah.
Okay, that's a bet. That's a wager.
Okay.
Okay. So it only seems to me like, and I'm not real smart, but it seems to me like Lucifer is probably smarter than me, right?
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. Okay, so not much smarter, but
Y'all kind of the same.
okay. Well, he's supposed to be next to God, from what I understand. I mean, if he thinks he can overthrow God, if he's getting that close, he's got to be closer to God than I am. Okay, or at least what they tell us. So I'm thinking, I'm like, well, damn. If Lucifer got his ass kicked in heaven, come down here and got his ass kicked, and they're making wagers over a man, surely Lucifer would be smart enough to say, hey, Lord, God, the Creator, whatever you are, whatever we're calling you, I bet if you come down here and forgot that you were God and you became a man, I bet I could get you every time.
Let me ask you something.
Well, I'm just saying, if you
Who
just
was
think
Jesus
about,
talking to when he's being tempted?
listen to me. Here you go. Here we go again. Again, I tell you, what you perceive as JC is Lucifer.
Okay, was he talking to himself then?
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
So he talked to himself.
He absolutely was.
He
Because,
said, throw yourself off this cliff.
well, yeah,
Okay.
you ain't told yourself some shit like that before.
Come on, man.
Have
on,
you?
Man. Come
Have
on,
you
David.
not?
David.
Don't lie. The only one you can lie to is the Creator.
Stop that.
So you go on with your bullshit.
He's calling to
Anybody that says that hadn't is a liar.
Yeah, but I tell you, that's not what that
Oh, bullshit.
represented.
What do you mean? How do you know? Okay, you talk about JC, but you negate the fact that he said the kingdom of God is within you. Within you. Not outside of you.
Okay.
Within. And we absolutely are stuck on the fact, or think it's a fact, that Jesus is outside of us, God is outside of us, and they're coming back to save us someday.
The evil.
That's the evil. That's the evil. The same thing the Bolshevik did to the Romanovs when they told the Romanovs, don't worry, we got somebody on the inside that's going to take care of the Bolsheviks, that's going to wipe them out, and we'll bring the monarch of the Romanovs back, and everything will be okay, and Prussia will stay Prussia. Fuck that. It didn't happen. Prussia became Russia. The Bolsheviks ended up ravaging Russia and murdered the Romanov family. Murdered the Romanov family. You don't know nothing about the Romanovs
Yeah, I've heard about Rome.
because we weren't taught that in school. We weren't taught the truth that the Bolshevik took over Germany and Europe, and that's what Hitler was extinguishing, was the filth that the Bolshevik brought. And I'm not even gonna say the J word, but it's the truth. That's where all that shit comes from. Every bit of it. Anyway,
So
my idea, so that kind of points to what I was talking about before, where JC says that you are God. He said, why you stone me for the good works I do? They said, no, not for your good works, but for your blasphemy. You say you're man, or you say you're God, but you're mere man. He said, isn't it written in your laws? Psalms 82:6. Isn't it written in your laws that ye are gods? He said, isn't it written in your laws that I said ye are gods? Here we are running around talking about, don't say God's name in vain when somebody says GD. It's not God's name. We don't know his name. We won't know his name. It even tells us that in the Bible. Not to utter his name. Not to make light of it. Because once we personify the Creator, it's no more. It doesn't exist.
So what's God's name?
It doesn't have one.
You don't.
But in the book of Exodus, it says that Moses asked him, "Who am I to tell them that sent me? Who am I to say sent me with these laws?" God said, "I am that I am.
I am that I am.
I am that I am."
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
I know that's what he said.
Okay. So the true name would be I am. And every time we say, I am not this, I am not that, like you said, I am stupid. I shouldn't say that shit. You're right. Absolutely right. I agree.
I am that I am.
How many times have you heard that we make up the body of God, of the Most High? How many times have you heard that we make up? How many times have you heard that we are shards? We're like shards of glass.
Shards of glass.
The Spirit fills us like shards of glass.
So we all come to the unity of one Spirit.
We all come from one Spirit.
One's the head, one's the arm.
Hell, you might be smaller than that. Might be a skin cell. Huh?
Smaller than that.
Might be a skin cell.
What is a skin cell?
The little thing the hair pokes through.
Stupid fuck, man. Why don't you pray to whomever that you pray to help you give your mind peace over all this stuff, because I feel that your mind is in turmoil, David. You know what I mean? Really seriously, I do. I feel your mind's in turmoil trying to figure out all this shit, you know what I'm saying, you know? And you're preaching it as you go along the way doing it, you know, which is good to share it, you know what I'm saying?
I'm just trying to reveal what's being revealed to me.
But try not to share.
I'm just revealing what's being revealed to me. I'm not kidding. This is like I said, I was a young kid when I questioned JC the first time. And the teacher and I was at Awanas. You remember that? The Awanas they had, was it Pentecostal church they had the Awanas? Anyway, I'm trying to learn about. They're giving me a pamphlet. It's like doing homework. I don't do that. What the hell do I said, how do I know this is true? You know what she said? Oh, it's in that Bible right there. It says it's true. Well, how do I know the Bible's true? Aren't there other books that say something similar? She's like, yeah, but those are all lies. How do I know that? Because the Bible says that. She said, aren't you too young to be asking these questions?
You are.
And then when I get to where I get after me and Dana go through our little shit, then I start getting clean again. Because I remember when me and her started going through that little shit, I was reading the Bible every day, dude. Every time I took a smoke break, I was reading the Bible. I was reading passages out of the Bible. And thank goodness it went like it went, because I'd probably be stuck there. I'd be mesmerized by it. Because it is mesmerizing. If we don't see it for what it truly is, we'll get mesmerized. It's spell casting. That's exactly what spelling is. In fact, that's what the English language is. It's the spell casting language. In fact, the English language was invented to enslave a race of people.
You know,
and it's doing a very good job of it right now.
I tell you, there's a fact on this right here. There's two facts in my life that have never changed. That's when that sky parted open and I walked up that stairwell, and I fell down before his feet. And the fact that he came inside of me, okay, and I know it was him right then and there. You know it's Jesus.
You ever heard of
Okay.
you ever heard of Project Bluebeam?
No, but I'm telling you.
Maybe you should read that. Maybe you should look into Project
So I had a
Bluebeam
Project Bluebeam
before
happen to me.
before you say that you seen this or you seen that.
I know exactly.
I'm
what.
telling you, before you say you seen this or you seen that,
And
just
you know,
look up
it's the
Project.
same vision that John
Listen.
had in Revelation.
Listen to me. I'm gonna tell you right again.
The same vision.
I'm gonna tell you right again. Look up Project Bluebeam, please. All this shit is real, dude. You think the Army and the CIA and all these motherfuckers, their technology is 100 to 200 years advanced, further than ours.
Well, check this out.
The Project Operation
You know,
Looking Glass.
listen, I had never read Revelation or what John seen before that happened to me. Okay, I read that afterwards, and it happened to me. And then I read Revelation, the same thing that happened to me happened to John. You know, and I'm like, you know, how could this be? You know what I mean? You know, but exact same vision, hair white like snow, eyes of fire. I'm so deep, it looked like universes in his eyes, man.
Bro.
You know,
Bro.
there's an entity of light
Bro,
right beside him.
bro,
I'm telling you, I seen.
let's
that.
look at Genesis right quick.
Well, I
Let's-
seen
wait,
it.
wait, just hold on.
I had no
Wait,
reason
wait,
to
wait,
lie
wait,
to you.
wait,
Think
wait,
I'm
wait,
lying to
wait,
you?
wait, wait. Just,
You think-
I'm not thinking you lie.
Okay.
I'm not thinking you're lying to me.
Seen angels. I've seen demons.
I'm thinking that you believe in what you say you're
I know,
saying.
I
You
know,
believe
I
it.
know
You-
I
and
seen
I
it.
actually, I
I
believe.
seen it just as much as I'm looking at you right now, bro.
Listen,
I mean,
and we can discuss that too.
If
But
it's
however,
fake, you're fake. I mean, because I'm telling you right now, that's how real it was. You know, beyond a shadow of a doubt. No doubt about it in my mind. I know what I saw. I know where I was that night. You know what I mean? And I know when I looked down what I seen. You know? I could hear them hollering. Hear them screaming. You can hear everything. Omnipresent. I mean, I could hear them in heaven. I could hear them in hell. I could hear everything. I mean, it was just, you know.
so you never could imagine that the God of this earth is actually the devil, huh?
I don't think God was serving the devil, that's for sure.
Huh?
No, he ain't
You don't
the
think
devil.
so?
You know, that's a very good subject right there, though. But
Okay,
no,
so
I don't think so.
So let me ask you this question. It's real simple.
he's
It's
not
real
gonna-
simple. Hold on. He knew you before you were born, right?
Yep. I knew before you was in your mother's womb.
So he knew all the things you were going to do first, right?
Yeah, he knows what I'm gonna do.
And he wants to give you free will, right?
Yep.
But yet he created you to be good, but yet the devil came and screwed it all up, right?
No. No, my choices probably pretty much screwed it all up.
Wait a
The
minute.
devil's temptations.
Hold on. Wait a back up, back up, back up, back up,
And
back
it's up
up.
to you to choose
Wait,
on those
okay.
fucking temptations or not.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Just
Wait a
the-
minute.
it just
Hold
the
on.
same
Let
thing
me ask you
happened
a
to Job.
question here. Wait a minute. Instead of punishing you for being tempted to do what the devil suggested you to do, why not just kill the devil? Oh, wait a minute now. Hold
Because-
on, stop.
because
So
we
wait a
wouldn't have
minute,
no
wait a minute.
choice.
Stop, Garrett. Listen. Stop answering
our
and
free will would be
listen.
gone.
Stop answering and listen.
Well, we know that's
Why would God create something just to torture it for all eternity?
It's just,
No, dude, I don't know.
I don't question
Even if it's
God.
the devil, no, you better.
I ain't questioning.
You
God.
better.
I'm not
That's
gonna-
crazy because you're not questioning God. You're questioning what you've been taught.
I'm not
You've been taught. You've been taught that God has created shit to torment for eternity, bro. That's exactly what He's going to do to the devil. And Jesus said, for most of all, pray for the adversary. Pray for your adversary before you pray for your fucking self. That's what He said.
Yeah.
So what the fuck you talking about? You mean to tell me that God has created a being just to fucking torture for eternity? Get the fuck out of here. That's no creator. That's no God. What are you talking about? That's what gets to me. What are we praying to here?
He defied God.
No bullshit. He was created by God to do what He does. And you're a moron to think any otherwise. If He defied God, then that means God's incompetent. That means God's not omnipotent. He's not all-knowing. Because you look at the book of Genesis, what do? He go in there, and Eve was tempted by the snake, by the serpent. And then they ran and hid. They ran and hid and covered themselves. God running through there. Where you go? Where you go, Adam? Where are you, Adam? Why art thou covering yourself? What have you done? Oh, so he don't know what Adam did now?
Yeah, he knew it.
Okay, fuck you. I can't tell. He didn't know where Adam was.
Stop, David. Calm down, dude.
Think about it.
Calm down.
What we've been taught is
I ain't
bullshit.
thinking about it. Okay?
You're not. We're really not.
Trust me. Everything
really
you're
not.
saying, it registers in my brain. Okay, I promise you that right now. It is.
We've been
Okay.
manipulated, dude.
Yeah, I have
we
few
think that
questions.
we think all this shit is outside of us when it's not. It's all inside of us. The old Indian said. There's always two wolves in a warrior. There's always two wolves in a brave. There's a evil wolf and a good wolf. And depending on what wolf we feed, what wolf will grow.
Yeah. You feed that
So,
bad side.
right.
Bad
So
side
if we
will
feed
grow.
the idea to ourselves that we can just wait around and do whatever we want to and Jesus is going to come back and fix it, it's never going to get fixed. Because we are supposed to walk in the path of righteousness.
That's right. Behold,
So we can't wait on
Fine,
nothing.
Lord.
We can't wait on nothing. We can't wait on him to come back.
no.
That's not how it's going to work. It's not going to work that way.
You're God before that happens.
We got to bring him back.
Yeah.
The way we bring him back is through the Christ, the Christos, the consciousness. It's not a man. It never was. It's all about the consciousness. It's all inside of us. He told us it's inside of us.
Okay.
That's what he said.
He's
And then I meet William Donahue with Hidden Meanings.com, and that really blew my mind because everything just started fitting in together. Everything. The word Israel comes from three gods: Isis, Ra, and Elohim. It comes from the Council of Nicaea. They put three fucking religions together to come up with the Christianity that we know today. And we don't even see it. There's three different gods they talk about in the Bible. I know, I'm putting...
I'm listening. So,
The Bible's talking about three different gods. In fact, it tells you in Genesis, it said, look, they have become like one of us. Who is us? Elohim is plural.
God is
In fact, Elohim, as a matter of fact,
Jesus is
wait
there.
a minute, Elohim means the mighty ones.
Yeah, Jesus is there since the
The
beginning.
mighty ones. Jesus said he was there then, now, and forevermore. He'll be there then, now, and forevermore. Guess what? He was Lucifer. We look in the book of Judas. Go look in the book of Thomas and look at the book of Judas. In the book of Thomas it says in the book of Judas Jesus said to Judas. Jesus said to Judas, it was I that whispered to Eve in the garden.
Who said that?
Jesus. He said it was I that whispered to Eve in the garden.
Where?
In the book of Judas. I promise you, the book of Thomas says nothing but parables. Nothing but parables that Jesus said. All parables. It has no storylines at all. It's all parables that Jesus said. Just a congregation of parables. That's the book of Thomas. The book of Judas. So here's, okay. So, let's look at Judas right quick. Let's look at Judas. Judas, what we hear is Judas betrayed Jesus and sold him out. Right? That's what we know. That's what we were taught. Do you know that Jesus had to beg Judas to betray him, to sell him out for the silver?
He had to beg him.
He told him, he said, you got to do this, Judas. You got to do it. It's you. You're the chosen one. Why was Judas the chosen one? He was the most trusted. He was the treasurer. He was the treasurer of the group. He's the one that kept up with the money. That's why he was the only one that was to be trusted to do what he had to do. And Judas had it in his idea that Jesus is going to bring the kingdom of God to earth before they kill him. And when he's up on the cross, he's like, heck yeah, well, he's happy. He's like, heck yeah, what are they about to bring? And then when he died, he went into turmoil. He was mortified by it. Jesus, that's right. It's why he hung himself, because Jesus had betrayed him. Jesus told him that the kingdom of heaven was coming upon his death.
He said, I'll be back in 3 days.
And he didn't come.
Yeah, he did.
He didn't come, dude.
Okay.
Okay, why did Judas kill himself?
There's a lot of witnesses seen him come.
Okay, why did Judas kill himself?
Because Judas.
How long was it when Judas killed himself?
Right after.
Right after.
Yeah.
Because he was supposed to come right then. He was supposed, the kingdom of earth was supposed to.
He told his disciples, I'll be back in 3 days.
I'm just telling you what he told Judas. And what Judas had in his mind. Boom. And this is the stories that we don't gather up. Because we miss so much. So here we are. Talking about a story that was told to us.
Where'd you find
Wait a
those
minute.
books at?
Wait a minute. It was talked
Judas
about.
Book of Tom.
Wait a minute. We're talking about a story that was told to us by a group of people that want to rule and dominate the entire world, and has been since they were sacrificing children to the golden calf.
Since Moses.
Since they were pulled out of captivity.
You believe the ark happened? Believe the flood happened?
Huh?
You believe the ark and the flood happened?
I believe that the whole earth is made up of giants and dinosaurs, or dragons and serpents.
Right now?
Right now. I think we're living on biology. Biology is geology. Geology is biology.
And where the hell are they?
Huh?
Where are they?
They're in the ground. They're made of stone. I don't doubt the flood happened. I think the flood happened in order to create the lands. That's what solidified everything. That's what created. That's
Shem,
what.
Ham, and Japheth populated the earth.
I don't doubt that.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't know. I can't.
Philip went inside the ark.
I don't doubt that. I don't know about that.
Oh, he did.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
Yep, he went in that ark. That's crazy. He said it had a strong, smelly urine when he went in there.
I don't doubt. I don't know if I do believe that. I don't know if I do believe that because I'm not so sure that.
It's funny that it's on Mount Ararat too. Exactly where it says in the Bible.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like I said,
The wood was carbon dated, tested back to 4,500 years old.
they say that, but I don't believe carbon dating is true either.
It might not be, but that's what.
I don't believe
they
that's correct
tested.
either. Yeah, I don't believe none of that shit's correct. I think it's all bullshit. Anyway, all right, enough of that. There's like 30 minutes in there. Bam.